On 15 March 2019, two consecutive mass shootings occurred in a terrorist attack on two mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand. The attacks carried out by a lone gunman who entered both mosques during Friday prayer began at the Al Noor Mosque in the suburb of Riccarton at 1:40 p.m. and continued at the Linwood Islamic Center at 1:52 p.m. 51 people were killed and 40 were injured. The gunman, 28-year-old Brenton Harrison Tarrant from New South Wales, Australia, was arrested as he was driving to a third mosque. He was described in media reports as a white supremacist and part of the ALT right. He had live-streamed the first shooting on Facebook and prior to the attack has published an online manifesto. Both the video and manifesto were subsequently banned in New Zealand and Australia. On 26 March 2020, he pleaded guilty to 51 murders, 40 attempted murders, and engaging in a terrorist act, and in August was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, the first such sentence in New Zealand. The attack was linked to an increase in white supremacy and ELT right extremism globally observed since about 2015. Politicians and world leaders condemned it, and Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern described it as one of New Zealand's darkest days. The government established a royal commission into its security agencies in the wake of the shootings, which were the deadliest in modern New Zealand history and the worst ever committed by an Australian national. The commission submitted its report to the government on 26 November 2020, the details of which were made public on December the 7th. Highest honors went to Naeem Rashid, who died while challenging the gunman, and Abdul Aziz, who lured the attacker away from others. 10 people who risked their lives to save others during the 2019 Christchurch Mosque massacres have been honored in New Zealand's most prestigious bravery awards. The courage demonstrated by these New Zealanders was selfless and extraordinary. They have our deepest respect and gratitude for their actions on that day, said the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Each of them put their life on the line to save others. If not for their collective actions, the loss of life could have been even greater. The list includes 2 awards of the country's highest bravery honor, the New Zealand Cross, an acknowledgement akin to the New Zealand Victoria Cross of Gallantry. On 15 March 2019, a white supremacist gunman killed 44 people at Al Noor Mosque during Friday prayers before driving to Linwood Mosque, where he killed another 7. Dr. Naeem Rashid was posthumously awarded the New Zealand Cross after he disregarded his own safety to challenge the attacker in Al Noor Mosque as the gunman came into the main prayer room and began firing shots. The congregation attempted to flee, but Rashid ran at the gunman. In so doing, he enabled others to escape and paid the ultimate price with the loss of his own life. I want to acknowledge Dr. Rashid's wife and family particularly, who will know all too well that his acts that day were a reflection of who he was as a person, Ardern said. Rashid's wife, Ambreen Naeem, said in a statement she was grateful for the award. Today, we can't see him, but he has spread his message of peace and love all over the world. Abdul Aziz, who was also awarded the New Zealand Cross for also displaying great courage and bravery challenging the gunman. Aziz shouted provocations at the gunman to get him to refocus his attention on him with the intention of preventing further loss of life. Aziz's actions deterred the gunman from re-entering the Linwood Islamic Center and ultimately forced him to flee the mosque. To be honest with you, I couldn't even have the time to think about anything. I just wanted to get that guy, that coward, Aziz told, while Aziz hoped no one would ever have to get an award again for helping save their community from terrorism. He acknowledged it felt good to be honored. It means a lot to all our community and all the Muslims, and for me too, because all those times we've been the target, and this shows that people are with us. It feels good, like you've done something good in your life. Naeem Rashid died March 15, 2019. He was a Pakistani-born teacher who was killed during the Christchurch mosque shootings. Naeem was originally from the Pakistani city of Abbottabad, where he worked as a banker. However, seeking a better life, he moved to New Zealand to work as a teacher. He had a brother named Khurshid Adam and a 21-year-old son named Talha. At the time of the shooting, Naeem and Talha were worshipping at Al Noor Mosque when white supremacist Brenton Tarrant injured and opened fire. Talha was killed in the shooting, this along with many others shot and killed that day, prompting Naeem to charge at the shooter and attempt to disarm him. Tragically, he was shot and wounded by Tarrant and later died in hospital. After the shooting, people all over the world lauded Rashid as a hero for sacrificing his life to save others. The Pakistani Prime Minister said Pakistan is proud of Naeem Rashid, who was martyred trying to tackle the white supremacist terrorists, and his courage will be recognized with a national award. Many media outlets also commemorated his heroism.